He didn't move. I know him. He knows me. Still, no name came to her. The man's shirt was soaked with red. Did he spill something? Did he make this mess? Her chest seized with a choking intake of breath. For a moment, all fog lifted, and she was gifted one distilled truth. This man is dead. Terror grabbed her throat. A heartbeat later, the hazy blanket descended on her brain again, leaving one parting comfort. I'm glad. Chapter 2. 6 weeks ago. It's starting to smell pretty ripe out there, Your Honor. Melanie White closed the door to the mayor's inner office and peeled off her sodden raincoat. Even this deluge can't wash away the stink. Roger Millerman leaned back in his leather chair and focused on how her trousers tightened across her world-class ass as she leaned forward to shake the April rain out of her hair. If she was a step or two closer, he might get a good look down that pink blouse of hers, too. Damn, he thought. That woman could make a potato sack look hot as freak night in Vegas. Somebody ought to run a sexiest city council members contest. Melanie would win in a shutout. He smiled at the thought of Melanie heading up yet another list of bests. They're homeless, not stupid, he said. They have sense enough to come in out of the rain. And the front porch of the city-county building is as good a refuge as any. They're bringing their dogs and their shopping carts full of trash with them. Melanie didn't wait for an invitation. She crossed the mayor's office and sat in the brown tweed chair nearest his desk. And from the reek of urine, they don't bother running to Starbucks to relieve themselves, either. For God's sake, Roger, this is where schools bring the kids for field trips, where all the cheeseheads from Packerland want to visit when they come to the big city. Do you really think dozens of drunks and drug-addled losers lolling on the city's doorstep is the kind of image you want to project? Roger leveled a stern stare at her. How many paychecks are you away from joining them, Melanie? If you didn't have your father's wallet backing you up, would you have enough money set aside to cover your bills for 6 months if you got into an accident or fell ill? How about it, Miss President of the Common Council? How long before you'd be out on that porch, trying to stay dry during a thunderstorm? Save the claptrap for the stump. She held his gaze as she slowly crossed one perfectly toned leg over the other. She knows exactly what she's doing. Teasing bitch. She wants something from me. But then again, they all do. You've got to take care of this, she continued. It'll be summer soon. Festivals will be starting up, tourists pouring in. Get those vagrants off the street before they become an embarrassing photo op. The best thing you can do to make that happen is whip up the votes to get me the funding I requested for those day shelters. You've kept it stalled in committee so long it's gonna grow moss. Is that what this is about? Are you trying to ram a project you know damn well the city can't afford down the throats of the aldermen? Keep the homeless blocking the way of the good citizens using the building their taxes pay for until they demand we fund your project? I'm gonna do what I gotta do until you and yours do the right thing. The right thing is to keep this city on firm financial footing. Throwing $8 million into a never-ending sinkhole of services to the homeless won't do any of us any good. Those homeless out there are just as much Madison citizens as the person stepping over them to come in here to register their dog, pay their taxes, or cast their vote. And as long as I'm mayor, I'm going to see that they get just as much use of city resources as your constituents do in the downtown high-rises. That's fucking bullshit, and you know it. The only reason you want those homeless day centers is to position yourself against the governor, the people's mayor. Isn't that how you want folks to remember you when you run against him in 3 years? You haven't given one pup's turd about the homeless in any other of the 7 years you've sat in that chair. But now that you're eyeing the governor's mansion, you're doing all you can to be his polar opposite. And personally, I think it's a stroke of genius, Roger. If I were in your shoes, I'd do the same thing. But I have to make sure the folks in my district are taken care of. And being panhandled as they walk from their condo to the Overture Center gives them the impression I don't give a damn about the very high taxes they pay. Then invest those taxes in my centers. One on the east side, another on the west. I'll have them up and running before Thanksgiving. Treatment programs, housing opportunities, education, and training projects. Give that to me, and I promise by the time your constituents are leading their grandchildren...